What's up there, everyone? Derek here from Tap and Turn Gaming, coming at you with another EDH deck tech. Today's deck tech will be for Rakdos, Lord of Riots, and this has a special flair to it. So this is a Rakdos, Lord of Riots Demon Tribal for under $100 for one of our subscribers, D_20co or D20co. He asked us to throw it, since it was Halloween, to do a Demon Tribal Rakdos for under $100, and that wouldn't get hated off the board immediately. I think this deck wouldn't. It's not super aggressive, not in the vein of like, let me get Rakdos out as soon as possible and then, crap out a bunch of creatures. It's pretty casual, pretty slow deck, but, once you get going, it does have some good value to it. So first thing we'll take a look at is the lands. We went with Bajukaj Bog, Command Tower, Dragon Skull Summit, Lava Claw Reaches, 15 Mountains, Rakdos Carnarium and Guildgate, Shadow Blood Ridge, 16 Swamps, and a Temple of Malice. For our sorceries, we have Beacon of Unrest, Dark Petition, Diabolic Revelation, Diabolic Tutor, Dreadbore, Profane Command, Rite of Consumption, Ruinous Path, Shattering Spree, Torrent of Souls, and Void. Now for some instants, we have Cauldron Dance, Doomblade, Fling, Go for the Throat, Hero's Downfall, Murder, Rakdos Charm, Scour from Existence, Shattering Pulse, Temur Battle Rage, Terminate, and Unlicensed Disintegration. For some enchantments, we're running Anthem of Rakdos because it is fun. Blood Mist, Dictate of Erebos, Fervor, Gratuitous Violence, Palace Siege, and Rage Reflection. Then we have our artifacts, running Ashnod's Altar, Commander's Sphere, Conjurer's Closet, Darksteel Ingot, Hammer of Perforos, Kolagon's Monument, Lightning Greaves, Nim Deathmantle, Rakdos Cluestone, Keyrune and Signet, Soul Ring, Strionic Resonator, and Whip of Erebos. For some creatures, we're running 16 creatures, all of which are demons except one, but he is super good for demons. So we'll take a look at them. They are Aberrant Overlord, and he also brings in a lot of creatures with him, so that's pretty fun. Archdemon of Unks, Archfiend of Depravity, Bloodspeaker, who is our one non-demon creature. He's really cool because he says at the beginning of your upkeep you may sacrifice him. If you do, search your library for a demon card, reveal that card and put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. And whenever a demon comes into play under your control, return Bloodspeaker from your graveyard to your hand. So he just has some really good value to him, and that's really nice to be able to tutor and reuse that tutor for creatures. Then we have Bloodgift Demon, Demon of Dark Schemes, Harvester of Souls, Havoc Demon, Indulgent Tormentor, Lord of the Void, Master of Cruelties, Overseer of the Damned, Rakdos the Defiler, Reaper from the Abyss, Runescar Demon, and Shadow Blood Demon. So that is all the cards in the deck. I'll give you some information on the general himself. We have Rakdos, Lord of Riots. He's a 4-cost 6/6, double black, double red. So he's a little harder to cast, but we seeing that we are black and red, it shouldn't be too difficult. But you can't cast him unless an opponent lost life this turn, so that's a little harder to cast him as well. But he's flying and trample. And creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each 1 point of life your opponent has lost this turn. So you get him down with another creature, swing away, say you do 10, 15 damage to them, all you guys cost 10, 15 less. It's a really aggressive, really cool effect. If people know you're playing him, they may just assume you're playing super aggressive and try to get rid of you real quick. But really that's not the point of the deck. The point of the deck is really just to have fun and have a Halloween demon theme. So one of the things we have going here is we have the Nim Deathmantle Ashnod's Altar combo for infinite mana and infinite res. Really works best with Aberrant Overlord because when he comes in, he'll bring at least 2 Harpies with him. So you can use Ashnod's Altar, you can sacrifice one of the Harpies, and then you can sacrifice the Overlord himself, so you'll have 4 colorless mana floating, and you can use that 4 colorless mana floating to res the Aberrant Overlord from the graveyard back to the battlefield, in which he'll bring in 2 more Harpies because of your devotion to black. And that's only if you had just him down and nothing else that had black in its mana cost. So every time you cycle that, you'll net 1 Harpy. So you can do that until you have 1,000,000 Harpies, and you can sacrifice half of them for, I don't know, 1,000,000 mana, because it'd be 2 mana for each one. So there's that right there. And then once you know that you can generate infinite mana, you can infinitely res other creatures as well. So you can cycle some of these other guys. You know, your Shadowborn Demon to destroy creatures, Rune Scarred for tutors, Reaper to trigger that Morbid, Overseer the Damned to be able to destroy creatures and get zombies, Lord of the Void, well, he's only on attacks. Let's see who else is pretty fun. You can use Havoc Demon again and again and again to just wipe the board as much as you want. So you can sacrifice, every time that you sacrifice him to the altar and then bring him back, you're going to give all the creatures -5, and you can use that again and again and again. So no matter how big stuff is, you can kill it. So being able to infinitely res is pretty fun. One of the other cool things we have in here is we have Rakdos the OG, Rakdos the Defiler. Whenever he attacks, we have to sacrifice half of our non-demon permanents. That's a steep price to pay, but since all of our creatures are demons, we don't have to sacrifice any of those. So it's half of our non-demons, so that's not too bad for us. But it's when he deals combat damage that the opponent has to sacrifice half of their non-demon permanents. So if we give him something like Double Strike from Blood Mist, or from Rage Reflection, this just deals double damage. So Rage Reflection or Blood Mist or Team or Battle Rage to give Rakdos Double Strike, they'll have to sacrifice half their permanents, half their non-demon permanents twice. So it can't be just looked at as like, oh, half their permanents twice is all their permanents. No, it's going to be, if they had 10, they'd sacrifice 5 down to 5. Then if they had 5 left, they'd sacrifice 2.5 rounded down to 2. So it would basically be 75% of their non-demon permanents in the end, but it still has a pretty solid effect to it. We have, we have a lot of mana rocks in here. We're running Soul Ring, Signet, Keyrune, Cluestone, the Monument, the Ingot, Commander Sphere, all just to ramp us up, because a lot of these guys are fairly expensive. Some solid removal in the instant category. We're running both Fling and Rite of Consumption to be able to dump one of our guys to go ahead and hurt our opponent for hopefully a good amount of damage. We're running the Hammer Perforce to give all of our guys haste as well as fervor. And Whip of Erebos, we're running more for the lifelink than the actual res. We don't want to have to res one of our guys to exile it. I'd rather take a hit than swing with one of our huge demons and gain a chunk of that life back than have to res one of our guys and lose it forever. So, there is that. But that's overall the deck. That's what we went with. This was our, like I said, this was under $100. The deck overall comes into the high 90s. It was a pretty fun deck to come up with. I'm glad that our subscribers asked us to do it. It was a fun little idea to build Demon Tribal with Rakdos. He is pretty cool himself. The price of the deck does come in at $99.02 if you're using the cheapest set possible, or the cheapest printing possible for every card printed, which is definitely not bad at all. $99.02, that saves you a whopping 80 cents. And again, that price does not include the price of the general, as well as price of like deck box and sleeves. So you're probably looking at like $110 for deck box and sleeves and all that. But the price of the actual deck, as is $99.02, and that's not bad at all. A good balance between creatures, artifacts, enchantments, sorceries, and instants. As you can see there, they're balanced pretty well, which is good to have a good variety of cards. The deck doesn't curve very well because demons are pretty expensive, but we go pretty heavily into turn 2, probably because of our removals and rocks and all that, and also into 3 removal and rocks and all that, and then a little bit into 4, and then high into 5. There's a lot of 5-cost demons in here, and then 6, and then 7. This says TCG mid, TCG player says 96.9 on here. But that's okay. Whichever way they want to calculate it is fine. I used an app that calculated at $99.02, so either way it's under $100, so that's fun. But yeah, this is Rakdos Lord of Riots Demon Tribal for under $100 for our Halloween themed deck. This has been Derek with Tap and Turn Gaming. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll get back to you later. Thanks a lot, and goodbye.